Welcome to Third Coast Sports TV. I'm your host, Wink, where we talk sports, love sports, enjoy sports. Today we're going to be talking about the Buffalo Bills versus the Houston Texans. Oh, man, this playoff game has got serious implications as to what's going to go on, how far these guys can, how far these guys can go. Both teams have some talent on both sides of the football, but which side will end up being the victors when it's all said and done. So, if not, he was going to. What's good to everybody, man? Ashmel, what's good? D-Love, Chopper Slim, Wise, El Guapo, Down South Sports, Corey Jackson, what's good? Appreciate everybody coming through. It's probably going to be a brief one. I'm going to try to keep this between 15-20 minutes if we can. If not, more people just start coming in. Because I want to allow Bills fans to go ahead and get in here as well. Michael Soberon, Ruthless 187 bars, what's good? Footballer, Adrian, Diesel, what's good? Going a little early, should probably send out notifications to you guys because I think these are around peak hours time anyway. We must go on the first drive. It's a must. Well, is it? Is it really? And I think I'm going to delve into that. It's something that we need to see. It's something that I feel should happen. But will it? Probably not. DeMarcus. Leon Cardinal. What's good? Squirt. What up? Yeah, we're going to discuss that first. I'm glad you brought that up, DeMarcus, because we're going to discuss that first. Diesel, I'm not sure if I shouted you out, but shout out to you, bro. I'm lagging. Y'all let me know what's going on. DJ Roy, what's good? I can't blame you, D-Love. The game plan was off as the key. All the dialogue. Tay Hill, what's good? Small lag, no lag? Okay. All right, well, I mean, it looks pretty decent on my end right now. If it's any serious problem, y'all let me know. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. So look, we're gonna start with what Kyle Brandt from Good Morning Football, what he said, because I know a lot of people, are seeing it on Twitter. But honestly, the responses that I'm seeing from people, nobody is really disputing or refuting anything that he said. What Kyle Brandt said was absolutely the truth. He only reinforced a quote that Bill O'Brien himself stated on Hard Knocks in the first episode when the damn gate is lifting up and you can hear him talking in the background. This team ain't got no respect. They like, when you look at their overall record, it's a losing one. Like, nobody talks about the Houston Texans when you turn the TV on. And the main reason why is because he's the head coach. You can't be this talented. You cannot be this phenomenal across the board. You can say your offense has taken a huge leap forward, in years versus in years past. You got the receiving core, you got the tight ends, you got the running back, you got a better O-line. And for everyone to come out and say the exact same things and not give Houston a respect, it's a reason for that. Because as a sports city, we're behind. Like, I mean, we're trying to come back with the Astros and the Rockets, but is that enough? Is that really enough? Sherman Hill, what's good? Kenneth, what's good, bro? Is that really enough? Because football is king. Y'all know this. This is what it is in America. Why is it that the Houston Texans, with the roster that we have right now, cannot get it done? We got serious implications. We got serious faults on this football team, and it is no reason that this team should not be in the big game, or at least be in contention to be in the big game on a year-in, year-out basis. We're losing entirely too many people. Called to the Nasty, said hi. Man, fuck you, nigga. Young Poppy, what's good? Matter of fact, you ain't even getting a shout out. That fuck shit, nigga. Nigga, at the end of the day, nigga, I got somebody, Jeffrey, nigga, don't worry about it, nigga. I got the light skin one and the dark one. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. No, we can switch it up since we go on that route. Yeah, but anyway, like I was saying before, we was interrupted by somebody who will be nameless. You know, he in AO stature right now. You know, yeah, I'm going there. Yeah, Osmond Gallo, what's good? Yeah, man, but what Kyle Brandt was saying, bro, like, as a sports city, the fans is the worst. Like, he kind of touched on the fans, but, like, he didn't get the real gist, and he didn't really hear from accurate fans. This team and its fan base is worse than the team itself. They keep this shit going, and it's unfortunate. You got all of these apologists everywhere on Twitter, everywhere working for the Texans, everywhere on the radio. You got some YouTube channels that play into it. And you got a lot of fans that just don't hold this team accountable because they feel like you less than a fan if you say something critical about the team. I don't know how some of you are raised, but I can't lie to those I love. When you fucking up, it's my duty to tell you it is what it is. Bro, you fucking up. You need to get your shit together. This is where you falling short, and we can come up with a plan of how you can be better. That's what you do when you love people. I love this team. I love what I want to love what they represent, but I can't. LaMarcus Hicks, plays keep, Super God Key, Kamen Jones, Corey Jackson, what's good to all y'all? I'm not gonna do it. El Lobo, what's good? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and fault and know that something is wrong. And it's the same thing year in, year out. And I can't have that. Not on my watch. I just can't. I gotta be surrounded, and I gotta surround myself and be true to myself and just know it is what it is. And we're not going on about nobody, bro. I was talking about somebody else who will not be named, who's in this chat right now, because he's reminding me of somebody that I don't, you know, he's his own man, and I'm my own man. He knows who he is, and he will not get no shine throughout this video. He knows what it is. Fuck that, no more. Yeah, and I'm with you. Roman, what's good? It's no reason as a Houston Texans fan, bro. We done been here. It's franchises who done been in their stable in far less time and have had success on a way better level, way faster than we did. We've been around for 18, 19 years now. Like going on 20 years and like another year or so. And you mean to tell me that this team is not doing what they're supposed to do when you got the quarterback? Because that was the problem for the longest time. Me and Jay Dizzle had a long... Damn, I said this nigga name and I said I wasn't going to do it. Well, fuck it. Yeah, Jay Dizzle, we was talking last night, and it's just like, bro, you done been around for so long. And just think about it. The Jacksonville Jaguars in a couple of years, they had success right off the rip. The Baltimore Ravens, going to Baltimore won the Super Bowl within, 3 to 4 years? Like, Brandon 335, what's good? Like, Danny J, what's good? You just can't. You want to go hard as you can for this football team, and we go hard. We make videos, people buy merch, people buying tickets, people selling their tickets. It is what it is. And you just don't want to see this team in shambles. And then when people come on and they talk about the Houston Texans, because we always got to play it at the ESPN time. He was like, bro, people put you at that slot because we don't even want to see you play. And think about the matchups that we have played. We haven't played no game that was exciting. The only exciting playoff game we have under our belt, it was exciting. The only exciting playoff game we had was the very first one. That game was exciting to watch. Every other playoff game we've ever played, the New England game that we had in the last one, that was an exciting game because the defense was just doing so much. And it just looked like we were in that game for the longest time. And then when the second quarter got here, Brock Osweiler struck out, and we end up losing the game by 18? You know, so the first half of that game was phenomenal. Every game that we've endured under O'Brien, we're 1-3 right now under O'Brien. As a head coach, he's 1-3, and every last game that he's lost has been a blowout. It is not one game that he's lost in the playoffs that has not been a blowout. If we lose, we're gonna lose big under O'Brien when it comes to the playoff. Game close. at all. The Patriots loss felt like it was a much closer game than it was, because we all know, bro, Clowney and Merciless was putting in. They was putting in work. Boyer was putting in work. A lot of the defense held up as much as they could. They didn't have no offense to negate the attack that they were putting on the New England Patriots. 30-0, 34-16, and then 21-7. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. People who bet on the team, bro, I don't know how y'all do that. I don't know how you put your money on this team. I can't do it. Sosa99, what's good, fam? Welcome to the stream and Happy New Year's to everybody, man. Happy New Year's. I hope everybody, had a safe trip, everybody in their family, and everybody is good. Hold on, give me just a second. My son finna get ready to ask me something about this tablet that he on real quick. Give me just a second. Oh, no, never mind. He walked his little happy ass back down the hall. Yeah, okay, but but Kyle Brandt was on the money. And it's just like, this is how other people view the Houston Texans. Why shouldn't we be viewed as this? And that's just what we have to accept. Hugh Betcher, Leonard Avery, JW Properties. Bro, Debo, what's good, bro? Yeah, like what Kyle Brandt was saying, like everything he said was true. We could look at, everybody was saying what he said about the Rockets. I know that infuriated people, but what he said wasn't a lie. He didn't tell any lies, not one lie. In that whole time he was talking, and it's just something that we gotta endure. But why do we have to endure that as Houston Texans fans? Why is that our reality? And then you got fans who keep this going, and it makes no sense. And I'm talking about Kyle Brandt. He was on Good Morning, the dude on Good Morning Football. Yeah, Kyle was going in. He was talking about the matchup for about a good 5 minutes. Hit me up on Twitter or something, and I'll DM you the link, bro. Yeah, and it's just like this city is not a reflection of this football team. It's a hard-working city. We hard-nosed. We know how to hustle. We get ours. We'll smash you, nigga, if you get out of line. But we know how to keep it player. And the Houston Texans don't reflect none of that. Yeah, you got some players who you just like, man, you know what? I see something in that boy. That boy cut from a different cloth. But it ain't the whole team. It ain't even half of the team. If you even had on one side, if you could say one side is a true reflection of everything that embodies the citizens of Houston or people who fuck with Houston, this team's supposed to be playing like the Baltimore Ravens. Part-time players, exactly. You can't. When they roll up to the stadium, they listen to this new shit. They probably need to get on some old screw. They need to pull the Blue 22 mixtape. They need to pull the Blue 22 tape out. They need to pull Wineberry Over Gold out. They need to pull that City of Syrup out. Nigga, they need to pull out that. I'm telling you, bro. It ain't no energy when these boys. Come on, man. Blue 22. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. It's just, you want this team to be everything. We want to be fly. We want to look fly. We want to play hard. You know what I'm saying? Come out to some face. Come out to something. Jeffrey Sire, what's good? Man, y'all make sure y'all smash that like button. DJ Roy, what's good? D'Angelo Thompson, what up? Yeah, you want this team to be everything that you know we are, bro. We laid back, but nigga, we'll ride on you, nigga, as soon as you get out of line. And they don't have that mentality. And this is what Trill constantly preach about. You know what I'm saying? When he calls in, it's just the reason why he can't be as optimistic as most fans and why he only sounds negative to those who ain't got a set of balls in their draws is because they grew up in a different time period. They weren't around nobody who was real. And at the end of the day, they didn't play with grown-ups and wanted to stay in the kids' lane their whole life. They didn't know what it was like to play with the big boys when the big boys told them, nah, get your ass up out here and learn how to play this game. Because at the end of the day, life ain't going to take it easy on you. I don't care what size you are. And that's the situation that the Houston Texans are constantly in because they got players that everybody in the league loves at some level. But the Buffalo Bills, they going to show everybody what the Houston Texans are made of on Saturday. While I have us winning this game, which I'm going to get into my prediction in just a little bit because I know we went off on a little rant. We're talking about what Kyle Brandt had to say about this football team. But you can't negate anything that he said, and nothing that he said was wrong. Now, let's talk about some of these players that I think are going to end up impacting the game from the Bills side of the football. I think that Tre'Davious White is going to more than likely end up having another phenomenal game. I see the Buffalo Bills playing man-on-man pretty much the whole game. I don't see any reason why they would really have to really double anybody. I think they've proven they don't have to do it. I think they've proven that they can pin their ears back, even though their pass rush is not as consistent as they would like it to be. But when they hit home big in a major way. Y'all let me know what's going on if the stream is good for y'all because I'm seeing, it's 48 people, it's 51 people in here, but I haven't seen anything come in on the chat. I'm not sure if I got a lag or anything like that. So y'all get in the chat and let me know if everything is good because I don't see no messages coming through right now. And I know y'all been pretty active. But it's just one of these things where they got a lot of guys. They still got Jerry Hughes, even though his play has dipped off somewhat. Ed Oliver's a rookie, but he's been able to make plays here and there. Edmonds, he's making plays. Shaq Lawson, all of these guys. And their secondary, bro, is one of the best in the league. They've been building this team up, and it starts with Tre'Davious White, man. It starts with Tre'Davious White. The man is putting in major work. He's going against the best guys and locking them up. His passer rating, I want to say, he's only giving up, dude's passer rating is, at the low 50s when he's targeted. Now, I know last year we played, Deshaun Watson played against him, and that was a rough game. It started, it wasn't a very pretty game to watch because he was getting beat up. The O-line was in shambles, but that's one key that I can say that's different. Well, it's two major keys that are different. Three. We have more weapons on the outside that are healthy at this juncture, right now. You have a situation where the run game is better, and the offensive line play is better than it was last year. The defense has failed completely off from top to bottom, and you don't have no pass rush. You don't have no guys stepping up making plays on quarterbacks when we need it, and the secondary is hit or miss. It's not that we don't have good guys that can play, but they just don't make the plays necessary. And it's like if they do touch the ball, they're not catching it. It's just one of them things, man. What are we really saying about this football team? Because the window is closing for a lot of these players. We got a lot of players who are about to start approaching 30, and injuries are just mounting up. We don't know who's going to be inactive. We don't know who's going to show up. And at the end of the day, this is a game, and somebody said this. I want to say Maurice Jones-Drew. He said this when I watched a couple of videos today, and they were talking about the Texans and the Bills on Good Morning Football. And one of the things he stated, bro, yo, big-time players are going to have to step up, but it's those guys around them, the Duke Johnsons, the Carlos Hydes, the tight ends, fucking Kenny Stills is going to have to step up big time in this football game if the Houston Texans want to have any success offensively. You got the weapons. There's no reason why the Bills defense and the Houston Texans offense shouldn't be the focal point of the game, because that's the real matchup. Their offense versus our defense is not a real matchup. They're not elite, and neither is our defense. It's bottom in the league in every statistical major category, from touchdowns allowed to red zone percentage to third down conversions, points allowed, passing yards. Hell, even our rush defense was one of the best in the league early on in the season. Now we're 26th, but you had a lot of guys saying that this team got better, and I want to know how. I can't see any comments. I don't know if it's a mistake or anything like that on my stuff, so I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to have to rewatch the stream and just see. I'm pretty sure you guys are still active in the chat. I'm not sure if it's lagging on you guys. If it's not, cool. But I'm going to just finish the rest of this game because I think it's going to be a lot of because I'm going to get into the things that needs to be done in this football game for both sides. Now, the way that the Buffalo Bills can definitely exploit us is definitely with the legs of Josh Allen. I feel if they are not getting to this guy, and if he finds any small crease, I think if his guys are open enough once they separate and with the time from covering in the back end, I honestly believe he can get the ball down to John Brown and these other guys that they have. Now, even though they don't have a notable tight end who's going to be able to make plays, I think they'll be open enough and they'll do something to scheme this team open because the secondary has not been consistent all season. Bernard McKinney, he still has some issues when he's covering the middle of the field, when he's in nickel packages. And that's where you really got to hit this Houston Texans football team. I feel if you do anything 5 yards, 5 to 10 yards, we're safe. But if you do anything 15 to 20, that's what the linebackers going to be taking advantage of. So it would be in the best interest of the Buffalo Bills to hit us in that area. A guy like Devin Singletary can end up coming up big against this Houston Texans defense if he gets outside of the tackles. If he hits that outside and he gets outside of J.J. Watt, who's going to be probably him and DJ Reader should make a huge impact in the run game up the middle. But when it comes to the outside, I'm not sure if you're going to have the guys outside of Whitney Merciless who are going to be able to play up to snuff in the run. And tackling will be essential throughout this game. If you do not get a hand and you do not use the proper techniques to make sure that you get down Josh Allen or a Devin Singletary or a John Brown, this will be a long game. This game will be extremely long for no reason at all. We have the guys on defense. You have a Hargraves, even though I have not been satisfied with his play over the last few weeks. But you still got a Garyon Conley. You're gonna have a healthy Roby because they've sat him out of games. J-Joe's gonna come back in this game, and this is the type of game where J-Joe can end up making a huge impact. It's these type of games that J-Joe can come out of nowhere and come get a pick. Justin Reed is going to have to be on his money. You're going to have to hope that everybody maintains their health throughout this game and that nobody gets nicked up with no serious time, like, with no groin injuries. We don't need any pulled hamstrings. We don't need any of that because we're going to need all hands on deck when we go into Kansas City if we win this football game. What the Houston Texans need defensively, I want to get to the Bills' defense and what they need to do. They just need to play man-on-man coverage. They can send some blitzes here and there, but Deshaun Watson has fared well, and he's played pretty well against the blitz. One thing that I don't think that we should really do against the numbers are very good for Josh Allen against the blitz as well. So if we do blitz, we're going to have to blitz probably a corner or a safety at times, and we're going to have to make sure that we're doing a hell of a job disguising the coverages, to make sure that he's confused throughout the game. Because if this man is able to read anything that this defense is doing, he's going to be able to launch that bitch down the field. He'll be able to dump the ball down probably to Devin Singletary, have Frank Gore running up the middle when needed, and he'll be able to do some damage with his 3 and 4 man pressures are not going to cut it. I feel like it has to be 5, it has to be 6. At least 30-40% of the time, you need to have 5-6 man pressures. Now, the offensive line of the Buffalo Bills is not as stout as people would like it to be. I understand they got young guys like Cody Ford and things like that, but their O-line can be a detriment. And if they can't run the ball and if they can't win in the trenches, the Buffalo Bills cannot win football games. Most of the games that they have won, they've been won in the trenches. And it's allowed and it's given Josh Allen enough time. And just like Spitz said last night, if you didn't catch his video that he stated the other day, the touch that Josh Allen has right now is not fully developed. So some balls will sail, some balls will be underthrown or overthrown, because that's not a part of his game that is a strong suit for him. Meanwhile, Deshaun Watson has touch. He's able to throw the deep ball. He doesn't really underthrow the ball that much unless he's under pressure. And this is a situation where for the Houston Texans offense, they are going to have to run the ball with Deshaun Watson. This is a game where run-pass option. You're going to have a good mix of pass and the run. You're going to have to run some. I wouldn't be surprised if they have to run some triple option if needed. You're going to have to run a lot of misdirections because you want Deshaun Watson to be able to read the hell out of these coverages before he does anything pre-snap. Penalties cannot be a detriment against the Buffalo Bills, bro. We cannot have O-line pre-snap penalties. Larry Tunsil, I hope he's going to be able to correct that. I hope whatever issue he had over the last couple of weeks, he's been able to rectify that and he's gotten enough rest. I'm not sure what they're going to end up doing how much Chris Clark and how much Roger Johnson are going to end up starting at the right tackle. More than likely, Roger Johnson will end up getting the nod because he's played better when he's been on the line. So the interior of the O-line is what's more than likely going to be a concern to me because they do have a pretty stout front. They got linebackers who can come down, who can play the gaps, and they play very gap assignment football very well. They do it very well. So even though one of the biggest detriments that they have, even though they're a top defense and they're like, I want to say they're second in pass defense, something like that. They're like 18th in run defense. Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson, they're going to have to put in work. This is a game where Duke Johnson should be running a lot of inside zone and he should be running a lot of outside zone. You know, some stretch plays. We haven't really seen too many stretch plays from the Houston Texans this year, but when we have seen it, those plays have hit home for major gains, if not touchdowns. So get these guys involved in the game, whether it's passing, whether it's rushing. I understand Bill O'Brien wants to run the ball. He wants to run the ball effectively. But if you're running plays that are not working against the Buffalo Bills, abort that and go to your play action. Deshaun Watson has a hellified play action, so use it. It's going to buy some time. It's going to make sure that you can get guys open. And the speed of Will Fuller is going to have to come in handy. Kenny Stills is going to have to come up big. And Darren Fells. This was one thing that I seen. They said when Darren Fells has scored a touchdown, I want to say 5 of the games where he scored touchdowns, because I want to say a couple of games he had like 2 touchdowns. And those 5 games were 5-0. So every time that Darren Fells is a major part of the game plan, we win those games. Now, by me saying that, I know Bill O'Brien isn't going to use that. And he's immediately going to go. He's going to go against everything I'm just saying. It's like he does it on purpose. It's like the moment that you start talking out loud about what the Houston Texans should do to exploit the matchups, because this is not a game plan offense. You have to do what works. You are not New England. You are not the Baltimore Ravens. You are not the Kansas City Chiefs. And even the Kansas City Chiefs don't even have to switch up as they are because they don't have to. It's not too many leagues who have a secondary who can stop it. It's not too many front sevens who are going to be able to upset and get a guy like Patrick Mahomes off his rocker. The only thing that can really affect anything that the Chiefs do is Andy Reid, his play calling, and not running the ball effectively. Time of possession. Which is what we're going to have a lot of. I feel like this is a game where I don't want Josh Allen to have the ball. But I think that's going to be a major game plan for the Buffalo Bills. I think they're going to do everything they can to keep the ball out of Deshaun Watson. The ball out of Deshaun Watson's hands. I see that. I see them wanting to play I see them running the ball. I see them converting a lot of third downs. And if they are not converting third downs, then the Houston Texans could very well win this football game. If the Houston Texans do make plays, it'll be some lucky plays. It'll be some batted passes. It'll be, just an egregious throw made by Josh Allen that had to be picked off. So I understand we're not going to end up having Tayshaun Gibson, which I don't think he was really going to be a big difference in this football game because he hasn't made any play in any game in quite some time. It's been a long time since we heard Tayshaun Gibson's number being called where he stepped up in a game, to make sure that it could help out the offense. And they said that this guy would be better than Honey Badger. I don't see it. Yeah, he's taller, but that's about it. People forget they had the same amount of interceptions. Honey Badger had more batted passes and he was getting sacks. And he was making sound and key tackles and he didn't really whiff on tackles like that. You know, so I understand people had a preference. I understand people feel they've been burned by the Honey Badger, but the Honey Badger did what he was supposed to do in the Houston Texans uniform, along with Kareem Jackson, who was making a hell of a lot of plays against the Houston Texans 2 to 3 weeks ago. But as I see it right now, I see this game being a very close game. This will not be a blowout in any way. If we get blown, the only way we lose is if we get blown out. But the only way we win is if this is a close game. It will only be between 3 to 4 points. I don't even see this being a 6 to 7 point game because the defense for the Bills is entirely too prolific, and Josh Allen is good enough to make enough plays downfield with his legs and his arm, and it's a concern for me. Bills fans should feel pretty confident of their chances of being able to win this game. About the only chances that they know, if they've really done their research, they don't really win in Houston like that. The last couple of times they came to Houston, they don't win. More often than not, when we go to Ralph Wilson, we lose by double digits. The last time we played, I want to say when we came in 2015, what's his name? Tyrod Taylor was the quarterback, and he blew us out. I want to say it was like 30 to 14 or some shit like that. I forget what the score was, but I know it was a 2-touchdown lead that they ended up having over us. You know what I'm saying? And the game wasn't really close, even though Deandre Hopkins had a hell of a day. But as it stands right now, this is how I see this game. I think I'm going to end up doing another stream because I couldn't see all of you guys' comments. The last thing I seen was from Michael Soberound, and he was like, this is an ongoing issue. So I think I'm going to end up bringing the stream right back. It was probably a issue with my connection. I'm not sure if it was lagging for you guys. But my score prediction for this game, I see this game being 21-17. I see that type of game. I see it being very close. I see a lot of mistakes being made, and a lot of those lingering issues that we've had with Bill O'Brien are going to end up showing it rearing its ugly head in the playoffs, and it's something that can't be rectified because he's always going to be in his own way. But welcome to Third Coast Sports TV. I'm your host, Wink. Talk sports, love sports, enjoy sports. You guys enjoy your day, and make sure you tune into my next live stream.